Hey everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back to a Define TikTok Live. Today is another round of classes with Katelyn. And yes, you guessed it, it's Katelyn. We are back today to go over how to set up your own personal mission statement in your Define Planner. I do want to suggest that you all grab your companion worksheet now as well. I like to always give us a few moments just to settle on in here and make sure that we are all whoever registered for this event gets notified and has that time to collect their companion worksheets and their planner and really dive into this. I hope everyone's having a great day today. This is always such a good time together. Hey Perry, good afternoon. Let's see here. Okay. I did go ahead and I pinned the planner that we are going to be using for our session today. Hey, I am doing well. How are you today? I hope your Thursday is going amazing. I keep almost thinking it's Wednesday. Hey, Angie. Oh, hey, Jen. I want everyone to get settled. These are the personal mission statement companion worksheets that I do recommend grabbing before we dive into our class today. I'm doing amazing, actually. How are you doing? A little tired. We're not going to lie about that. I feel like everyone's always tired on a week like this, you know? Has school started back up for you already? I'm just going to give us all that moment to settle on in. Oh no, why is everyone sick this week? Kelly on here is telling me that she's also sick. There is something in the air. I'm sorry to hear that. That's the worst. Hopefully you're getting the rest you need though. Hey, Tori. Hey, Aurora. Okay. You guys, I want you all to make sure that you grab the companion worksheet before we dive in. We'll give us one more minute to just settle on in and make sure that everyone's all caught up here before we get going. Today, we're actually going to be filling out our personal mission statement together, but these worksheets are where the core of this is going to happen. If you are unable to print them out, don't worry. Just go ahead and grab a piece of paper, whether it's in your Define notebook or journal. That's going to be another good spot. Or in the back of your planner as well, there is that notes pages where you can also go ahead and transfer over the questions in there if that's easier for you. So let's get going. Let's dive in, you guys, starting off with that personal mission statement today. I want you all, though, to start actually by flipping back to define yourself. And we are going to, you'll see why in just a moment. So I'm just going to keep those pens there. I'm going to get this all settled so you guys can see it all okay. There we go. I want to start by just welcoming everyone on here. Thank you for coming to our classes with Katelyn today. We are creating one of the most important pieces in your planner. This is all about your personal mission statement. This is where everything we've been building, from your core values to your priorities, it is all going to come together in this guiding statement right here. So when it comes to your personal mission statement overall, think of it as your compass. This is what's going to help you make decisions, set boundaries, and stay aligned with what matters to you. This right here, it is not about what anyone else expects of you. This is about who you choose to become. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Again, I just always like to highlight each step that we're on so it's extra clear for you all. And we are going to start with step 1, those core values. And this is why I had you guys grab your Define planner with you, because you are going to transfer over these 4 core values into step 1. So for us, we had decided on growth, connection, creativity, and family. These are going to be the roots of your mission because values are actually non-negotiables. So whenever you feel off track, this is what reminds you of what matters most. So go ahead and transfer over those four values right now into step 1. Growth. And there's no order here, so it's not like one means that you value growth over family more. It's just the order that you happen to write it all. Each has their own purpose and space in your heart. So growth, connection, creativity, and family. Now, as we're on here today, I want you all to know that this is an interactive session, so please feel free to ask me any questions, share your answers with us, and we can always clarify anything that comes up along the way. The next step in your personal mission statement companion worksheet is going to be what matters most. Now, the purpose of this worksheet is to help you take everything that you've learned and ultimately sum it up into your mission statement because it can be tricky. I've had a lot of questions on how do I write a personal mission statement? And the answer to that is there's usually a system in place and it'll all come together in step 5. These steps are what will help you draft that mission statement. Now, for step 2, this is where you are going to reflect on what matters most. I'm just going to push that out of the way a little more so you guys can see. There we go. Here is where you are going to list the people, roles, commitments, all of those that matter most to you. Think of your priorities and what brings you fulfillment. You can look to your priorities this year in the Define Your Year page. See if any of that is going to resonate. Think about your non-negotiables. Similar to those values, these are going to be what you are going to protect no matter what. So let's dive into how I would answer this as an example. You can choose to do bullet points. You can do sentences. There's no right or wrong with these answers. I need you all to remember that. But one more thing I want you to do here is I also want you to tap into your why behind each answer. So for instance, I'm going to start with my family and close friendships. This I pulled because I had noticed it was, of course, one of our core values, but it was also our priorities this year. And that in general is one of the things that matters most. So my family and close friendships. But I want to take it one step further. So when I'm pulling this all together, I'm even more clear in the importance of it. So I wrote my family and close friendships because they nourish my soul. This is what helps me to feel fulfilled. Another thing that matters most is the health and well-being. So I'm going to write my health and well-being. Always feel free to share your answers on here as well. I'm always happy to help clarify anything that you get stuck on along the way. And the reason why this is so important is because we can't pour from an empty cup. Also, I want to take care of those around me. The next thing that I'm going to add in is going to be my creativity and career. For me, a lot of the times this does go hand in hand. And this is because they bring joy and purpose. And then I like to narrow it down to about 4 of what matters most. So in terms of like grouping. So people, roles, commitments, things like that. So the last one I'm going to have here is my community and the impact I make. Hey, Nisi. And this is because I want to make a difference. Okay. So then I'm going to keep moving through this, and if there's ever anything that comes up, you guys, don't hesitate. Because the next step is the person you want to be. Oh, there's one more thing though I did want to mention. When it comes to what matters most, I was thinking that throughout this I'll also give you guys a little reflection question if you're feeling stuck. And so here's a reflection question to help you answer this for what matters most. It is, if you only had 24 hours this weekend, where or who would you spend it with to honor your priorities? Instantly, something's going to come to mind, and that right there, that is one of the things that's going to matter most to you. So figuring out how you want to spend that time, especially when it's limited. And the reason why answering step 2 is important is because once you know this answer, making tough decisions already becomes easier because you can also check it against what matters most to you. And that right there is going to lead us perfectly into step 3, which is the person you want to be. So here's where I want you all to write a few sentences. It can also be adjectives about the person you want to become. More importantly, the kind of person you want to become. So think of your habits, your characters. How do you want to show up in daily life? Think about personal growth. Do not think about anyone else's expectations here. I want you to think about who you truly want to be, not who the world expects you to be. This is your aspirational self, someone you choose to cultivate through your actions every day. Because this is how we are going to set our goals and figure out that person we want to become. Right here. It's that person you want to be. So, for example, let's say I want to be someone, and again, bullet points, full sentences, there's no right or wrong. I want to be someone who is consistent, reliable, and hardworking. I aim to live with wholeness. Wholeness, creativity, and joy. I want to be the type of person who leads with compassion. Both in how I treat myself and others. I want to be the person someone calls when they need help. And then the last thing I want to write for that person I want to become is I really want, and again, this doesn't have to be like perfectly structured, right? It almost like you would write a journal entry because it'll all get formatted when you put it in your planner. I want my daily life to reflect my authentic, intelligent, and positive self. Think of, if you're feeling a little stuck on this one, I want you to describe yourself in some adjectives of who you aspire to embody. So if I were to ask one of your closest friends, how would you describe them? What would you want them to say? Okay. Again, I want to make sure we're always clear on things, so I'm going to give you guys a minute. If there's any questions, anything that you're stuck on, anything you would like to share, please let me know. Okay. The next step is going to be step 4. So now that we know all that we've answered so far, we are going to put this one just to the side a little bit, and we're going to dive into step 4. And this is your purpose and your impact. What difference do you want to make in the lives of others? How do you want to show up for your family, your community, or even the world? Your mission is not just about you. It's also about how your growth ripples outward. Think about the energy and the values that you want to bring every day. If you are feeling stuck, write one sentence. This is how I want you to start, is by writing one sentence describing how you want someone to feel after interacting with you today. So for example, I want to inspire, to inspire others to live intentionally and confidently. Creating spaces creating spaces, which means I'm focusing on how other people will feel. So focusing on those adjectives where people feel valued, seen, and supported. That's an impact right there. what difference you want to make in the life of others. Now, we also want to tap into that purpose aspect. So, my purpose is to encourage people, because we've already talked a lot about our purpose through, for instance, that do I effectively navigate each day with purpose? How or why not question? Refer back to here and see if there's anything that speaks to you in terms of, okay, well, if I'm not doing this now and it's something that I feel will align me with my purpose, then that right there provides you that insight into what your purpose truly is. So let's say our purpose is to encourage people to pursue their goals. While also nurturing, while nurturing themselves and others along the way. So I want you to ask yourselves, who would benefit the most if you lived fully aligned with your purpose? Of course, it would be you, but it would also be, if we were to look at this, it would be that community of people around us. For some people, it could be the animals. If you feel connected to helping those furry friends find their home. It could be students, if you are a teacher. There's a lot of different opportunities for you to answer that question of who would benefit most. But now is when we actually are going to pull it all together. So I want to make sure that before we get into the last step, that if there's anything anyone's wondering about or would like to share, that now is going to be such a great time to do so. Because I want to make sure that we are all clear before diving into one of the most important steps of this session, where we actually draft our mission statement. Okay. Now we are going to pull it all together. So what your mission statement should reflect is your values, what matters most, that person you want to be, and the impact you want to have. So do you see now the importance of each of these questions? Because this right here, this brings you to your mission statement. You might not have known it coming in, but going out, you're going to be like, this makes so much sense now. Why I'm answering these specific questions is because these are all a part of that ultimate mission statement. So when you are writing this mission statement, I want you to remember that you are going to have it reflect who you truly are. Now, this might evolve as you do. That's okay. Nothing is permanent forever. It can be as long as you want. It can also be as short as you want. And so what I want you guys to do is take what you've learned, take everything that you've answered, and combined it. I do have a little structure if anyone's feeling a little stuck on how to start. And that structure is quite simple, quite helpful as well. It is starting off your sentences or your mission statement with, my mission is to blank. Some examples: live with balance and creativity while inspiring those around me. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in these with some examples. So if you guys at the end would like to screenshot to get you that inspiration as well, that's another opportunity. So I'm going to do it not in the black, actually. We're going to go with, let's just do it with the orange. I feel like that's a good color combo. To live with balance and creativity while inspiring those around me. Now, this is not going to be my personal mission statement that I write on here, but I did want to go over how you could set it up and different options about it. So this is going to be a great option, especially to get you started. The next way to structure this would be, so sentence 1 would be that. Sentence 2, I prioritize ... We will say, for example, growth. See how we're connecting our values again, taking everything that we have written so far and really pulling it all together. Growth, connection, and health. And show up with integrity and joy. And then the last part of your mission statement for this structure example could be to start with, I aim to ... I am so happy to hear that, Natalie. And you guys, for those of you who are just getting your planners, don't worry, I'm uploading these classes with Katelyn all to our Red channel as well. So make sure you're subscribing there so you can get all the latest updates and recordings and new videos too. So this would say, let's use an example of, I aim to create positive impact while nurturing myself and my community. And then what you could do from there is actually combine all of these, put it in here so you can finalize it, and then take it to your planner. Or do this right here as well. So I want to walk you through a specific example, but before I do that, let me just leave this right here. So if you want to save this for later, you can. This right here is an example. The green is going to be the beginning of your sentence, and the orange is just an example of how you could answer it. Okay, now I want to go ahead and take everything that we have written here thus far and draft another way of doing your personal mission statement if you don't want to break it up into all those steps. So I am going to take, first I wanted to highlight this just so you guys know which one I'm specifically on. And then we're going to take that green pen. Now the colors are always optional. It's just a fun way because I love to do things with color. So I'm going to write here, taking everything that we've written thus far, seeing what stands out from that community aspect, family aspect, creativity, that's important. And I am going to write, my mission is to live a life rooted in wholeness, growth, creativity, and connection. I prioritize my health and well-being while nurturing people and projects, actually, that matter most. I aim to show up as reliable, compassionate, and inspiring. I want to encourage others through my own actions actually this is why we do a rough draft, is so that we can really get any things out of the way that aren't really what we wanted to say. For instance, instead of saying through my own actions, I want it to be through the way I live. I think that summarizes it a little better. Through the way I live and work. Let's see, by staying grounded in my values, I create a life where I and those around me can thrive. So actually, in a way, I still took that structure that we were talking about. I only did it a little differently. I just added on a little more. So we have mission, we have prioritize, we also have aim, and then we just added a few more things as well. What's really nice about these worksheets too is that we give you an example down here of another one. It's pretty long, so I won't read it right now, but it's another great example of a mission statement. And then I want you to reread it, and I want you to transfer anything over into your personal mission statement that feels aligned with that person you are really trying to become in that life you're trying to live. So I'm going to go ahead, and now we are going to grab our Define Planner, and we are going to turn over to that personal mission statement. Did I highlight the titles? No. Okay. I just want to reread this and make sure I'm happy with it. Because now is the time to make changes. Think of it like if you were writing a paper, how would you edit it? You would probably highlight some things, circle some things. So my mission is to live a life rooted in wholeness, growth, creativity, and connection. True. Now, the one thing I'm noticing is that I don't even mention family in here, which I don't love, because that we have talked about so much on here, and that is a huge priority for us. Let's change this a little bit. So I prioritize my health and well-being so I can show up fully for those I love. I give my all to the people and projects that matter most. I aim to show up as reliable, compassionate, and inspiring. I think that works. We can combine these two though. You see how as we're going through this, we're noticing, this doesn't have to be two separate sentences because it's the same point. I want to encourage others through the way I live and work. I aim to show up as reliable, compassionate, and inspiring through the way I live and work. And now we can take that personal mission statement and transfer it over. That's why having these companion worksheets is really helpful, so you can finalize it and make sure it aligns with the person you want. My mission is to live a life rooted in wholeness, growth, creativity, and connection. I prioritize my health and well-being. So I can give my all to the people and projects that matter most. So the worksheets are available. They are free at the link in our bio. And then I upload these recordings to Red as well as other like separate classes too. Absolutely. To the people and projects that matter most. Oh, I messed this up, but that's okay. Wait, does this work? I prioritize my health and well-being so I can give my all to the people and projects that matter most. Yes. Okay. That is actually what no, I wrote that correctly. Okay. I wanted to add one thing in here, actually. I aim to always come from a place of love. I show up as reliable, compassionate, and inspiring. Actually, we're going to make this 2 sentences, or 1 sentence. Through the way I live and work. Lastly, by staying grounded in my values, I create a life where I and those around me can thrive. And that is how you write your personal mission statement. That right there. And this is going to be an important part of your defined planner. This is your compass. This is what these self-reflective prompts are here for, to help you better understand yourself and that life you want to live. You need to know who you are so you can identify how you can get to that place you want to be. Thank you guys for showing up for yourself today. Thank you for completing your personal mission statement with me. Thank yourself for showing up and for being courageous enough to try something new. This right here is how we start and continue to navigate each day with purpose. Thank you all for joining my Classes with Katelyn session. We will be meeting again on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern to create our own vision board together. So that event is made so you can register as well. And I will see you all again in tomorrow. And until then, keep navigating your days with purpose. Bye, everyone.